Issue 31 is one of the most important issues to date, if not the most important issue of Amazing Spider-Man so far, as it changes everything. Even if while you're reading it, you could be completely oblivious to its consequences. But before that, let's start with issue 29. Whatever you do, wherever you go, never step on a scorpion. I sometimes breeze over the titles of issues, but this one caught my eye for some reason, and as you know it, the writers address it. Yeah, nice little joke there. Also, Stan must have been in a mood because he also wrote this. You can pause the video, I ain't reading this out and I'm not leaving it up there long enough for you to read. Pete's muscles are now bulgy and his clothes don't fit, so he's out to get new ones, which he can't really afford. Elsewhere, the Scorpion tricked the prison guards as a way to get into his old clothes, and once fitted, breaks free of prison.
Not the brightest guards.
Yeah, the best are the ones that tease the prisoners. It's like, have you not seen the movies? You're gonna die first. Once this dude breaks out, you know he's gonna break out because, well, have you seen the movies? But uh-oh, Ned Leeds is back in town and Betty's drooling all over him. And here's the thing. Ned is actually a really nice guy. He's polite to Pete, although by the end of the issue, it's so polite, it does start to feel a little condescending. Not sure if the writers were going for that, but in comparison, Pete's a little biatch. Like someone who gets the crap beaten out of him and loses a lot. Like, he does not handle rejection well. The cops turn up, not because of Pete's capacity for rejection, but because the Scorpion has threatened Triple J and Spidey. JJJ tries to play it cool and comes up with a plan. He releases a paper saying that Spidey and the Scorpion are in cahoots. Cahoots, I say, so they get annoyed and they will have to fight each other.
Does it work?
Nope. The Scorpion wants Jameson first. He arrives to the bugle. Jameson acts like a frightened little biatch and Spidey turns up and the two start duking it out, giving Ned the chance to comfort Betty. Smooth, dude. Real smooth. The fight escalates to the rooftop and it's blow for blow, neither gaining the upper hand. Spidey whips up some web bowlers, trapping Scorpion's legs, but the Scorpion's tail is still free and he uses it to spring himself at Spidey. They fall, tumbling from the rooftop, and even before he can snag a building, Spidey's web secures the Scorpion, then is able to swing them both to the river below. The battle resumes. More blows, more tail whips. Spidey changes web cartridges and starts spraying like it's a runny nose with COVID. Eventually, the Scorpion is entangled. Spidey leaves him for the police to take him away. Of course, Triple J prints a story as himself as the hero, and Betty, traumatized by the attack, is taken home by Ned. And what's this? Has someone found a weakness to the evil overlord's May reign of terror? Okay, so one thing I noticed, whether intentional or not, Spidey seems to fall into the same patterns with certain villains. The issues with the Green Goblin and Spidey end up being a kind of a dance between them, and they'll run into each other several times in an issue. Mysterio always involves a mystery, which is kind of obvious, but for the Scorpion so far, both his issues have become slugfests. Anyway, it will be an interesting one to watch and see if the trend continues, so let's keep an eye on it together, shall we? Oh no, Betty's still unwell. Evil Overlord May is unwell, and a cat burglar is terrorizing New York. Just another day in the life and times of Peter Parker. I'm actually surprised that Spider-Man isn't getting the blame for the robbery, so hey, maybe we call this one a win. And to add the cherry on top, J. Jonah Jameson gets robbed as well. There's a reward for those who could recover the bonds, stocks and other important documents, and Spidey is like, hell yeah. $1,000 is almost as sweet as Triple J's face when he hands over the reward.
Yes, I hope it happens.
Spidey comes across a robbery. These guys in purple jumpsuits, but oh no, it's not the cat burglar, but he can't stop him and he's thrown off the truck and the guys get away with it. Later, Pete runs into Liz. She's got a job. She's a working girl.
What? PG-13. PG-13.
It didn't have those connotations back then, but she also says Flash is following her and trying to find out where she works.
Oh my god, creepy McCreepster.
I know, right? Like, there's no laughing this one off. This is real stalker vibes. But Pete lays him out accidentally. Spidey stops another robbery. A burglary. One who isn't the famous cat burglar again returns to Flash and is all like, oh, I don't know what happened. We must have hit our heads. I can't remember. Duh, 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 duh. And Flash is like, oh, okay, because he's stupid like that. Betty calls. She wants to meet. She got some information. Whoa, that she gotta tell Pete, oh, she's getting married. Oh, she's getting married. 'Cause Ned Leeds has proposed and now she's all being unhappy. Yep, old Ned Leeds popped the question. Betty is all like, well, he's a stable guy. A real rom-com PG-13, not like that Spider-Man who is all M-rated action-adventure. So Pete gets angry because, as we know, he doesn't take rejection well. And Betty's like, but it's you. It's you I like. So surprise, surprise, just like your favourite rom-com, two people are unhappy because they just won't talk it out. Pete stops another robbery. Yes, another robbery. Jameson is nervous about Spidey getting the reward. Betty is calling to speak to Pete, but he won't pick up because he's afraid he'll say something he'll regret. The cat burglar is off to do one last job.
Famous last words.
Exactly. Spidey finds him. He chases. The cat burglar shoots. Spidey dodges. The cat places an explosive on a metal rainwater tank and it comes careening down, landing with a mighty crash, but Spidey is too quick. The cat burglar smoke bombs in an effort to get away just as police arrive. But secretly, he's still there.
We need to look for a
Cat burglar.
Do you see a
Cat burglar.
Where? Gracias.
So the cops get the baddie and no word whether the cops get the reward or not. A donation would have been nice, but Pete sells some photographs of the event so at least makes some dough. Betty turns up to the Bugle. She wants to tell him that she likes him more than anything. But Pete realises that she needs somebody like Ned, somebody stable. And she's like, Pete, can we talk? But Pete doesn't respond. Spider-Man has once again cost him everything. The presence of the cat burglar in this is quite fun, even if the character is underwhelming, and it's a neat writing trick when you bring somebody underpowered or, as I said, underwhelming, and you create the storm around them. The hunt for the cat burglar is more important than the character in this issue. Spidey having to stop all these burglars, making you think it might be him, Jameson being frantic about the reward, and will or won't Spidey capture him or get the reward. It's spun quite well to make the best out of what it is, and it allows for the B story, B for Betty, to shine, especially as she drops the bomb of Ned's proposal. I don't think this issue will ever be a fan favourite, but you can't help but admire its shy away from the norm and its ability to pull it off. Some issues are just built different, a bit like issue 18, where the action takes a back seat, but issue 31 is doubly important as it marks Peter Parker starting college, and it's triply important because some very important characters are introduced. Now, Spidey is fighting some goons.
Hey, they look familiar.
Yeah, so he failed to stop some of these guys last issue, and no surprise, man, they reappeared. And no surprise, man, they are prepared and have like a backup plan G. Like, these guys are top tier, get away with it twice in a row, which never happens to Spider-Man. So later, Pete starts college, but evil Overlord May is like, no, I can't let my slave Peter Parker grow into adulthood or he might realise what a terrible person I am. So she purposely gets sick and passes out just to make him worry.
I don't think that's what happened.
You shut up. Evil Overlord May must be stopped. Anyway, Pete is naive and still thinks that evil Overlord May is a nice person, and being on her deathbed, it's eating him up inside. So bad that when he gets into his first day of college, he doesn't really hear what's going on around him. He completely zones out. And Flash is there.
Him? Again?
Yeah, apparently he got the football scholarship, and surprise, surprise, he's already bagging Pete out to two random strangers, but Let's introduce them, shall we? The hot blonde, who admits to having followed Flash's football career but is equally unimpressed by his advances towards her, is a lovely little lady we like to call Gwen Stacy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, mainly gentlemen, and by that I mean all you little horny bastards who got all worked up over Spider-Gwen. This is the original.
Just look at that hair. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she has always been and always will be in any reality a hottie. Must be nice to have hair.
I wouldn't know.
Me either. And if that didn't rock your world, this guy, the one with the cornrows that aren't actually cornrows, is the one and only Harry Osborn.
What? Wait, I don't get it.
All will be revealed. But like I said, monumental issue, right? Anyways, Pete snubs him, or so it seems to them, because he is seriously just fretting over evil Overlord May dying and just doesn't hear them. Flash gets all butthurt and puts him down behind his back, and Harry gets on board. Gwen is a little bit more like, well, maybe he has his reasons, and even tries to talk the boys out of pranking Pete.
She's a good girl, that Gwen.
Up until she makes an effort to speak to Peter, asking for a pen, and he gives one to him without even looking, giving her a direct frontal assault brush off. Now she ice cold, but she still admits there must be more to him. You know, because he's hot and he's smart. Elsewhere, Betty still hasn't answered Ned Leeds about getting married. You kind of think, well, get the hint, dude, but this is the 60s where it was probably still like, let's get married, then hook up and see if we're compatible. I don't know, I wasn't alive then, but Betty is still holding out because she thinks that Peter's got a secret.
Yeah, he's Spider-Man.
Also, Foswell disguises Patch, but not Wolverine Patch, finds more about those goons trying to steal scientific equipment. He learns of another job and tells Spider-Man. Now, Spidey this time finally does stop them from stealing the materials, but they do all get away. These guys aren't your usual chumps, but they do drop a name. The Master Planner. And we see where the Hydro base is and, oh, hey, I think I know who this Master Planner guy is.
Who?
Oh, I'm not going to give it away just yet.
You're not giving anything away.
Which is why they're called spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for the audience, but sheesh, for an issue without a lot of action, a lot sure did happen. Similarly to issue 18, less action, more side plot, and once again, it simply works. It really is also hard to impress just how important this issue is and the consequences that come out of it in the long run. Hey, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this approach, please like and subscribe for more videos. And remember, if you're interested in reading the full story, the easiest way is to sign up to Marvel Unlimited at marvel.com/unlimited. I need to breathe.